Your ex goes silent. They seem cold, detached, like the breakup didn't affect them at all. And you're left asking yourself, did I ever matter to them? If you felt like that, I want you to hear this clearly. Avoidants act like they don't care, but they do. They act that way because caring feels dangerous to them. And today I'll walk you through the real psychology of an avoidant ex and why their silence and detachment often mean more than they let on. Avoidants feel deeply, but they've learned to survive by disconnecting from their emotions. When a relationship becomes too close, too intense, or too vulnerable, it overwhelms them. And instead of leaning in, they shut down. It's not because they don't care. It's because closeness activates fear. Fear of being trapped, fear of losing control, fear of being hurt. So they disconnect, not just from you, but from their own emotions. After a breakup, an avoidant often distances themselves quickly, not out of strength, but out of protection. They try to stay numb. They may act indifferent, distracted, even cold, but they do this because feeling loss or facing the impact of the breakup would make them feel too vulnerable. And vulnerability to them feels unsafe. So they shut off their emotions like a light switch, not because they're unbothered, but because they're emotionally armored. When the dust settles, some avoidants do start to miss you. They remember the connection, the safety, the moments when they felt understood, but instead of reaching out, many of them freeze. Because reconnecting would mean reopening the same vulnerability they were trying to escape. So even when they care, they stay distant. That's why it can look like they feel nothing, even when something real is still there underneath. Avoidants live in contradiction. They crave closeness and they fear it. They want love but feel safer without it. They may feel guilt, sadness, or longing, and still they push you away. Because in their world, emotions feel like danger, and disconnection feels like control. So when they act like they don't care, what they really mean is, I don't know how to feel safe while staying close to you. So here's what you need to know. Their silence isn't always a sign of indifference. It's often a sign of unresolved fear. But just because they're afraid doesn't mean you're responsible for fixing that fear. You can feel the loss, you can acknowledge the connection, but you don't have to chase someone who confuses distance with safety. You deserve a love that doesn't feel like emotional guesswork. You deserve to be chosen by someone who feels safe enough to stay close, not just someone who reaches out when it's convenient and then disappears when it feels real. So if you're struggling to stay grounded during no contact, grab my no contact survival kit below. And if you want to understand what avoidants actually go through after a breakup, click the next video. I'll walk you through the emotional stages they hide from everyone else.